Hello everybody and anybody who will be watching this on the internet, and I'm going to show you another Linux Multimedia Studio stupid little trick here. And this one is going to be using a LFO controller as a pass-through for an automation channel. And you're like, why will I want to do that? So I will show you real quick here. See, here we got a triple oscillator. Just a triple oscillator when it comes up by default. And I will create a piano roll for this. Well, whatever. It's nothing important. I'm not really making a song here. It's not really a song. But just for demonstration purposes to show you random crap. This is just random crap. Okay. And right now I'm using the release candidate version. There is actually a new version in the works. I think their main thing this time around is bug fixes. But one of the coolest thing is you can export tracks now. Just so giving you a heads up if you didn't know. But it's good because it's been like forever since the new release came out. But I'm going to show you this trick. So here we go. And I'm on a 3:4 aspect ratio screen, and it doesn't scale for that. They just don't consider people still using old hardware, I guess, but no big deal. No big deal, I'll just live with the side scrolling. So, here we go, 3XO, triple oscillator, random stuff. But the main reason is the automation track, that's what I'm interested in. So, get rid of that. Bring the automation track up here. And we have the mixer format channels for mixing our oscillators, phase modulation, amp modulation. So if we wanted to put this into an automation, I believe this is one of the ones with the problem. Now we want to automate this, we double click it. And automation, you only get 1 or 0, like it's acting like, oh, what is it? If you go to function, like one of these switches, you can automate these switches here. Those are fine if they're 1 or 0. But automating this, or automating the waveform for the oscillators, you get 1 or 0. Any kind of thing that pretty much has discrete steps. Like this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be like 0 through 4 on a computer. But you still only get 1 and 0. So you'd only be able to automate, like this would be 0 and that would be 1, I believe. Which isn't the full range. And then same on this one, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I were to clear that out, and I wanted to automate the waveform, so I control drag it, all I get is 1 and 0. You're like, that's no good, I can't do anything with that, because all that gives me are like these first 2 banks. So if I play this, I believe it either does the first 2 banks, or it treats this as 0 and that is 1. I can't remember which. Either way, I don't have discrete steps, which should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There should be 8 discrete steps. Oh, it doesn't even go into scale. But either way, it's not working. It's not doing what I need it to do. So, what can we automate this with? We can automate that part with an LFO. Like these things that have discrete steps, you can automate them with an LFO. So, if I create an LFO controller and I put it on, say, like this oscillator, connect to controller, and pick up controller 1. It's the only one we got. You'll see the LFO is oscillating and it's cycling through all these waveforms. So now if we were to play this, you see it's hopping through all the waveforms. That's neat. But how can we use this LFO as a pass-through controller? Really simple. You go to the amount, and you set this to 0. Bam, 0. Now it's not oscillating at all. So like, how do I use this as a pass-through? Real simple. Watch what happens when I turn the base setting on the LFO. You're watching over here. Watch what I do on this knob. And that's how we use this as a pass-through controller for automation. So now what we do is take this automation track, create a new one, and we get our LFO controls, and we drag the base setting to the automation track. And now we still have 1 through 0. Watch this, there's different steps. So if I were to just make some kind of semi-random stuff, do it for 4 measures. I know it's random right now, but you gotta think of splitting all these values between 1 and 0, like 20, 40, you know, like fractions of 8 pretty much. But you gotta remember it's like percentage value. So this one would be all the way up to 8, and this would be down to 1 or 0. But watch what happens. Now that I do this, this automation channel will be controlling that LFO, which then acts as a pass-through that lets me access all the waveforms. And as you can see, it's hopping around in accordance with the automation track. And if you want semi-random automation, you can actually create your automation tracks in the baseline editor instead of over here. And remember that this is a specific item on a specific thing. So anytime you do this, you still have to put it in the beat baseline editor. I would always make the separate tracks on the beat baseline editor. So if you're doing an automation track, I clicked on the wrong thing. If you're creating a new beat baseline, actually you'd name it over here. Say like this would be automation. Automation waveform, but you can do it and just create automation tracks. Keeping in mind that each track you create does a different automation. It'll automatically loop just like any other thing on the beat baseline editor. Another thing to keep in mind, but the main point of this was showing you how to use this LFO as a pass-through, and you can name your LFO, and I would just call it pass-through 1 or something, however you want to name it. And that way when you're assigning it to here, you'll see that it's connected to pass-through 1. There you go. That's pretty much it. That's your little stupid LMMS trick for today, and that is showing you how to use an LFO controller as a pass-through controller to access things you cannot control directly with the automation track. But now you can, indirectly. Neat, huh? Good day.